Did you have the opportunity at any time to meet Jean across paths, Randy?
Oh, for sure. Anytime you went into the Montreal Forum, you'd go in for the pregame skate or you'd go in for game time. His car was parked underneath, and he was a gentleman that always said hello. He exuded class when you saw him. He was a calm gentleman, and the one thing that when he came into a room, the room got quiet, and for the right reasons. And he'll be sorely missed. A great ambassador for the game of hockey. You know, there's people before me that we've talked about what type of player he was, what level of player he was, and what kind of effect he had in the city of Montreal, the province of Quebec, and then all of Canada.
What do you think today's player could learn from a guy like Jean Beliveau?
Well, I think that humbleness and that dignity, and the one thing that he preached, and even in his statements, that it was always team before self. And that's one thing that he was, and he preached to the Montreal players as being the captain and the figurehead there, that there was a team of players that made up the team, but the team was always at the forefront, was first. Everything you did for the betterment of the team.
Playing a team tomorrow night will be a little different, I think, from last night. A little more buttoned down, given who's not in their lineup. How do you work to get speed through the neutral zone, knowing that it's going to be pretty clogged up?
Again, you know, we have a game plan that we'd like our team to play to, and we respect the opposition, and we know that Jersey historically has been a strong neutral ice hockey club. They want to play tight to the vest. They want to keep the shots down, and they've historically, you know, adopted a system that has been transferred from team to team over the years. So our challenges will be that we do not want to be selfish and turn the puck over in the neutral ice and allow them to transition. We want to play an up-tempo game and move the puck effectively, and be in support positions all the time. When the puck is moved, move off the puck and be in a position to get it back.
How's Leo doing?
He was filling his face with breakfast this morning, so he seemed okay. I don't know, he had a smile on his face, but obviously he's not 100%, and that's what you do in these situations, and it's basically out of our hands. It's in the medical staff's hands, and they'll take whatever they deem necessary to make sure he's 110% right before he comes back.
Would he need to have a practice? Is he getting to that point, or could he potentially?
I haven't got any update on when you don't see him out there.
Yeah.
Basically, he's not available to practice.
Just a day off for Daniel Winnick after the hit.
Yeah, he had a block shot, and then I think he took the hit, a little bit of a bruised thigh. I think the hit from Demers in last night's game.
Just talk about the effort we've seen from Tyler over the last 6 games.
Well, Bosey's been, you know, has been a guy that's now has created a lot of offense over the last little while, and we hope that continues and he's able to maintain that. But again, we're talking about individuals that are making a contribution to our team game, and that's what we're trying to focus on, is just to have a full complement of players playing to the top level and playing to the level they're capable of. And we've talked about last night not being one of those games that we can be proud of, but we'll take the 2 points and move on.
With Winnick, it's just today, right?
Yeah.
It's not serious.
It's not. We don't deem it serious.
I mean, a guy like Mike Santorelli, who has the work ethic that keeps coming up again and again, has success. What does that do for you as a coach and trying to build everyone up?
Again, we'd like to look at people as being leaders by example, and there's a prime example of him doing what he has to do to make a compliment to our hockey club. We had him at center. We moved him to the wing, and he seems to have flourished at that position, and then he's moved up the lineup. Now he's on our second power play unit, and he's earned that opportunity, and we'd like all of our players to recognize that we are going to pay attention to people who are doing that. And you cannot ignore it when you see what's happening out there. And we take our hat off to Mike Santorelli.
Do you notice him as an opposing coach? I think back to the game in November out in Vancouver. I know you've got a lot on your plate, but does a player like that catch your eye even a year before he comes to this team?
Yeah, yes and no. I think that you do a little bit of due diligence on the opposition, but you don't unless you play them on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. When you only play them once or twice a year, it's difficult to get a full assessment on individual players in that type of situation. But when you play in the same conference and maybe in the same division, and you see them on a more regular basis, you form an opinion, that you're convinced that he's this, your description, what the player provides.
Randy, beyond trying to get as many points as you can on this homestand, what are some of the other benefits you think you're getting from it at this point?
Well, again, we work on the next one's the most important one, so we don't look too far ahead, and we try to remain on an even keel with our group, and I think that's the most important thing. I think there are things that we can definitely fine-tune in our game, and we need some work in some major areas as far as improvement. So we try to constantly give our players the feedback on what we think is going on out there, and they have an opportunity to tell us how they feel about it, and hopefully there's a marriage there, or there's an agreement, and sometimes there is disagreements on how it's supposed to be done, but again, in the end, we're in this with a common goal, is to have success as a group.
What's the difference for Holzer this year versus the last time you saw him 2 years ago?
Well, so far he's not backing off. He's been aggressive, and that to me is going to be his challenge, because he's a player that historically here, anyways, that when the speed of the game and the intensity of the game went up, he was more on the retreat mode, and we don't want him to be on the retreat mode. We want him to be confident and be up and take time and space away, because he's a big, strong guy and he can defend. And the further he's away from the opposition, the harder it is for him to defend.
Randy, do you think JVR's found his groove maybe yet, despite the numbers that he's put up?
I don't know if he's found his groove. I think, again, he's had some fortunate bounces go his way where pucks are now going off of him, but he's going to those dirty areas. He's got to maintain it. He's got to continue to be the guy that sacrifices himself in front of the net. He can't be dropping off when it's not warranted, but he's a big man that when he skates and he takes the puck to net, he's an effective hockey player. That's for sure.